Tony, thanks for joining us. We're hearing seeing a heavy-handed response from the army and from security forces on the streets throughout Venezuela. Is this part of a trend in this direction?
That's right, Bal. As President Maduro becomes increasingly unpopular and as the economy continues to spin out of control, he has resorted increasingly to repression to keep protesters in check. Protests in Venezuela have a very long tradition. This government has been in power for 18 years now, and people have been protesting against it for all that time. What we see now, though, it's quite unprecedented. We're seeing security forces, just going in straight for protesters as soon as they gather with tear gas, rubber bullets. We've seen anti-government militias armed on the streets straight away. So a very ruthless, heavy-handed response, which some here attribute to the weakness of the government, that Maduro can no longer rely on his supporters. He only has the army with him left.
Well, I guess the government would say it's doing a good job of controlling these opposition protests. What does that leave for the opposition? What's next for it? How can it gain traction?
That's a very good question, Bal. The protests are becoming increasingly violent. As I mentioned, a 17-year-old teenager has just died in the last hour from a gunshot wound he received at a protest here in Caracas. And this scares a lot of people. Venezuela is still it's a peaceful Caribbean country that hasn't been in a war since independence about 200 years ago. These are people that believe in democratic means, believe in peaceful protest, and that's being taken away from them. The challenge for the opposition is to keep people mobilized, keep people on the streets, keep the pressure on Maduro, despite this repression and increasing violence. They have promised, to maintain demonstrations in the coming weeks. They're trying to come up with more original ways of getting people motivated, launching flash sort of protests in cinemas and in churches, even in discotheques, to try to break through the government's control of media and try to get citizens involved in what we see as Venezuela's flight towards dictatorship. But it is an uphill struggle, and the poor so far have not shown enough enthusiasm to back those opposition efforts, which would make a difference.
Anatoly Kurbanev, thank you very much for that latest from Caracas.